What is up, all of my horror fanatics out there? Welcome back to Late Night Frights. I'm the Late Night Frights horror leader, the J. Sloan or Jordan, back here to do another video for you. And as always, guys, I want to thank everyone for tuning in this evening. Now, last week we did a theme, and if you haven't checked that out yet, please go do so. We did our slasher theme redo for 2015. And since we did a theme last week, this week we are doing horror battles. And the two films that I chose to battle are two, I guess you could say, supernatural or paranormal type horror films. One of them is back in 2010, I believe the other one is fairly new, and they are Insidious versus the Babadook, or the Babadook, or the Babadook, however you want to pronounce this film, that's what it is. Okay, so before diving into the battle, I'm going to review both films very briefly, and then I will battle them to the death. So I'm going to start off by reviewing Insidious, which I believe I have talked about here on Late Night Frights before in the past. I've done so many videos it's hard to keep up, but I do believe I've talked about this one before. So this one was made in 2010 or 2011. I'm not really sure the correct year. It will be correct within the title of the video. This one's directed by James Wan. This one is starring Patrick Wilson, Rose Bain, Lynn Shay, Lee Wannell, and Barbara Hershey, I believe. It's either Hershey or Hershey. I can't really see the small writing on the back. Bad vision, guys. I need my glasses. Barbara Hershey. So, Insidious, pretty much about this family who moves into this house, and within this house, there are these demonic, evil spirits that it's pretty much a haunted house, but they find out later when their son, who has been acting a little bit strange, falls into a coma, and they cannot get him out. They don't know if there's any hope. Will he ever come out of the coma? They find out that it's not their son, it's not their house that's haunted, it's their son that the spirits are after, because this son has a very unique and specific gift that he can do to go to a spiritual realm and actually roam around where there are good spirits and there are very, very bad spirits that want his body. Without spoiling too much, that is the plot of this film. Really enjoy the acting from all around. This one, when I saw it, I didn't have high expectations much for The Conjuring. I didn't really have high expectations. It seems to me like paranormal type films or supernatural type films, they were their best in their time, in the past time. Films such as The Exorcist, The Omen, Poltergeist, those classics, and you could definitely feel that they took a lot from those films and put in Insidious. Most importantly, Poltergeist, I felt like it was closest to. Acting was good, directing by James Wan. James Wan has directed tons of films. This is one that was really, really good. And, yeah, I've always enjoyed Insidious since I first saw it. It has some jump scares as far as truthfully and, deeply affecting or terrifying me. I don't think a film has done that in a long time since I was a little kid. But it did have some really good jump scares, some creepy moments, and a fun horror flick, a fun paranormal or supernatural flick that I would definitely recommend you check out. So there's my review over Insidious. Okay, so now I'm going to move on and quickly review the Babadook or the Babadook, whatever you want to say. Babadook, Babadook, I don't care. However you want to pronounce it, I've heard it pronounced a lot of different ways. For the remainder of this video, I'm going to say the Babadook. So the Babadook was made in 2014. This one is directed by Jennifer Kent, actually written and directed. I'm not sure about the casting. Let's see, Essie Davis, Noah Wiseman, Haley, I don't know, Daniel Henschel, Barbara West, and Ben Winspear. So really, really good horror film. Before I even dive into the plot itself, that was my phone, actually my girlfriend messaging me, so yeah, once again, another message. Yeah, getting back into this review. So the Babadook is pretty much about this woman who is this depressed widow, a 7-year going on widow who has not let go of her husband. She has a son, and on the way to the hospital 7 years prior to the events taking place in current day, they wrecked and her husband was killed. She was left alive, she had the baby, and she has been a single mother ever since. Her child is a very weird child, doing magic, loving horror movies, monsters, things like that, and she sees him as weird. They all see him as different. and she's having a lot of, obedient problems from him. He's being disobedient to her, not listening to what she's saying. So she reads him a book one night, and it kind of scares the little guy. And the book's called Mr. Babadook, or Mr. Babadook, whatever you want to say. And it pretty much says that the Babadook, I cannot say the fucking name of this movie. Let me just say, pronouncing it is a pain in my ass. The Babadook, Mr. Babadook, the story pretty much says that, if it's in a book, if it's in a look, the Babadook is real. Nothing you can do will get rid of it. The woman, of course, thinks it's all fake, but after reading it, things start to really intensify and start happening within her life. At her work, happening in her personal life, at her home with her son, and she starts acting really weird after a certain confrontation or altercation happens with the Babadook itself. And here it is, really, really cool. This is the Scream Factory edition. This is actually looks exactly like the cover of the book. And boom, it's a pop-up. There is the Babadook. See, if it's in a word or it's in a book, or if it's in a word or it's in a look, you can't get rid of the Babadook. So things start happening after she reads this story. She tries to get rid of it, rip it to pieces, burn it. Nothing happens, and some pretty crazy things starts taking place at home with her and her son. That's all I'm going to say. Really, really good movie. I enjoyed it. It was very creepy at times, had a lot of jump scares, a lot of suspense, build up leading to the end. Yeah, really cool. Really enjoyed this one. Directing was good, acting was good, very good film. So I would definitely recommend checking out the Babadook, whatever you want to say, Babadook. I don't care how you say it, pronounce it how you want to. Check out the Babadook. Okay, so now that I've reviewed both films individually and briefly, it's time to battle them to the death. So I'm going to start with round one. Round one, story and originality. Which film do I think had a better story and was overall more original? Now, watching both these films, I can definitely see some influence on both from past paranormal or supernatural horror films, so I can see similarities with different films in the past that I've already seen. Nothing extremely new here. Insidious had the dream state possession. The Babadook had the story, which was really cool. So I'm going to have to go with the Babadook for having a cool and original story. We're having a children's book, actually a character from a children's book, come to life and start terrorizing and possessing and doing crazy things. So it was really cool to see that, and really cool all around. Just an interesting and intriguing story that kept you in it throughout the entire movie. So round one goes to the Babadook. Okay, round two, I'm making a special round for this battle simply because these are not slasher films. There was not a very high body count in either film. So I'm making a special round called Chills and Thrills. Which one had more chilling moments and more thrilling moments, jump scares, everything like that. The Babadook had quite a few. It was very suspenseful and very creepy at times. More jump scares, I would have to say, goes in Insidious. I found myself jumping a little bit more at certain scenes, especially if you watched it in the theaters, and the loud, the audio was extremely loud, and then boom, it just happened. So a lot more jump scares. There were some creepy moments in Insidious, although the Babadook had a really good number as well. It's very debatable which one you prefer. For me, I'm going to go Insidious. So Insidious takes round two. Guys, round three, acting and directing. Which film do I think had better acting and better directing overall? Really liked Insidious, guys, but I'm going to go with the Babadook, or I'm not going to repeat myself again. You guys know, pronounce it how you want to. The Babadook, I'm going with this one because the acting felt real. I mean, Essie Davis, who plays, I believe, Amelia might be the character's name in the film, you really I felt sorry for her throughout the whole film, I'm going to be honest. With her son and with her husband and everything going on, I felt really, really sorry for her. She just looked tired and sickly, and, she needed rest and medication. And the kid was good. He was just really irritating, but, everybody did a good job, and I like the acting and directing a little bit better in the Babadook. Okay, round four, personal enjoyment and replayability. Which film do I personally enjoy more, and which film would I pop in right now and watch? And I love Insidious, guys, but once again, I'm going to have to go with the Babadook for this. Really, really enjoyed it for a first-time viewing, and thought it was very suspenseful, very scary at times. Like I said, had a lot of jump scares, great acting, great directing, great setting. great story and concept, so I'm going to go with the Babadook. The Babadook wins this battle, guys. There is no need to go any further. The Babadook wins. It has came out on top. It is victorious, and it has defeated Insidious. So please comment down below. Insidious is a great movie as well. I'm not trying to put it down. I really enjoy it. But for me, I just personally enjoy the Babadook just a little bit more. So please comment down below and tell me your thoughts and opinions on these two films. Which one do you prefer? You just watched Late Night Frights. Stay tuned, guys. Tomorrow, Chris Brock will be battling 2 horror films of his choice, and that will continue throughout the week with all of our members. I'm the Jay Sloan. Thank you for tuning in for my battle. And you just watched Late Night Frights. Comment, subscribe, and as always, guys, keep it horror.